other way is much more rational. The other way is, okay, there's a world out there, it's been out there for billions of years, and it's everywhere where I'm not. So why can't I handle it? Why can't I handle reality? That's a really good question. And now you're on a spiritual path. It's called the inner path. Why? Because I'm not out there trying to make it be a certain way for me to be okay. I've caught on that I'm the one who's doing it. Reality is the way it is. What am I going to do? But in here, why can't I handle that sometimes rocks are going to fall into the water? Then they get still, then they get a little noisy. Are you okay with that? Can you handle that? And the answer is no. Well, maybe that's where your work is. And that becomes your first step, is to step inside and say, yes, my psyche reacts. So now what some people do, and I think the essence of everything I try to teach you guys, is if I could get you to skip this step, I feel I've done my job. What step? You at least wake up enough to say, it's really true, I can't control the outside. So basically, what goes on is the world comes in, it causes these reactions inside, and I used to lose myself in those. So now the second step, which is the one I want you to skip, is if I could control the inside, if I can make it so I don't feel jealous, if I can make it so that I'm not bothered by what he said to me, then I'd be okay, wouldn't I? If it didn't bother me, then I wouldn't be bothered. So how do I do that? And you start all these techniques to try to redefine your psyche. I need to straighten up this psyche so it doesn't do what it's doing. So yes, you will do some stuff to make it easier to live in there. You can rearrange your house, you can change the furniture, you can make it more pleasant. If you have to live in there, why not make it nicer in there? Why make it so that every single thing bothers you? So people drive all kinds of weird ways, don't they? Especially we get to say that because we define the way we drive as the non-weird way. How many things irritate you the way people drive? You go slow in the left lane, you should be in the right lane, you should go at least 5 miles over the speed limit. What are you doing going the speed limit? Or what are you doing going 5 miles over the speed limit? Whatever it is. Everybody's got a different way of doing it, don't they? And you're judging every way and saying, that's wrong, I'm right. So one way to deal with it is to stop doing that. So let's go quickly through the litany of things you can do to try and straighten out your psyche. One way is just sit there and look at your psyche and say, who said you're right? You're so busy arguing that you're right. And you're going to learn something very, very deep when you look at that. You're not right. You're never right. Never. There's never a single time that your psyche is right. That's how you deal with a psyche. You want to change your psyche? Start right there. The only reason you think you're right is because you think you're right. They're the experiences that you've had, they got left in your mind, therefore you judge everything based on your experiences, don't you? How many divorces can somebody go through before there's something wrong with them? It depends on what experiences you've had. If your father or mother got divorced and remarried 4 times and the 5th one was a winner and it made them the happiest person that ever lived, you don't judge till we get past 5. If you were brought up Catholic and everybody stayed together just for the kids and they told you that later and you appreciated that your parents stayed together and know they sacrificed so much, then even one's not okay. You are the sum of your learned experiences. You're not, but your psyche is. And that's all that's going on. You're not right. There is no right. It looks right to me. Of course it looks right to you. Those are the experiences you had. If you had somebody else's experiences, it would look wrong to you. But who's willing to see that? That's almost like a measure of someone's spiritual evolution. Do you ever find yourself in a situation where you honestly believe you're right, absolutely right, you're right? Because there is no such situation. There's just based upon your past experiences, this is what it looks like. You have one more experience, one more, and it'll change your whole view. So net is, if you want to work with your psyche, that's what you're going to find. You have to loosen up in there. You can't define the way it's all supposed to be and then judge everything based on that, because you're going to get sick and you're going to get everybody around you sick. So instead you just take a little bit of openness and you realize my mind and my heart are based upon their past experiences, and I could have had different experiences. Those are just the ones I had. That's called objectivity. You can change your psyche, but it really means being willing to undercut the cause of your psyche. You can't change your psyche by leaving the causes and then try to rearrange it up top. You'll fight with it every moment of your life. That's like suppression. You have to get underneath to see, why is my psyche the way it is? Everybody's psyche is the way it is for the same reason. It was programmed that way. It had past experiences that caused you to think this type of person is nice. I really like thin, tall people. They're really nice. Well, you better wake up and spend a little more time around, right? Because they ain't any different than anybody else.